to episode 95 of the Triple Po, the Podunk Polymath Podcast. Thanks once again for joining me. Hope you all have a spectacular week, day, month, year, decade, etc. So this, of course, is going to be the episode where I introduce my brand spanking new host. But first, I was honored to become a patron of Conversations of God podcast, who I'd actually been a patron of before. However, I had all the stuff going on with moving to the new place and all that shit. So I've sold the house. I'm in a little shit apartment in Nashville now. So I've settled in, right? And I'm able to kind of do some things I didn't want to do before because I was still in limbo, as it were. So I've supported him again, and he was kind enough. Apparently, being a patron of the show gets you a free song. So I'm going to go ahead and play that song for you. I've already released it on Libsyn on the RSS feed. So if you are subscribed to my feed or my podcast, then you should already have gotten this. But just in case, for those who haven't, let me go ahead and play it.
Chris. Podunk Polymath Podcast. Chris, the Podunk Polymath Podcast. Chris of the Podunk Polymath Podcast. Thank you for joining Patreon. Smooth beats. God. The Podunk Polymath. That's the podcast that Chris makes. And it's better than this one, Tony. And it's better than this one, Tony. And it's better than this one, Tony. Does that make sense? What the hell are you on about, God? Can't you see the track's finished now? Sorry about that, Chris.
I was getting into that, Tony.
Well, don't.
Yeah, sorry, Chris.
That wasn't supposed to be there. Sorry about that. Anyway, so that was a little tune. I thought it was quite nice. Tony and the Maggot Brain. If you haven't checked out Conversations with God, you ought to go do so. Combos with God is the website. He's on Podbean, Combos with God. Of course, if you check him out in your regular feed, if you subscribe to him on a regular podcatcher, iTunes, Stitcher, and all that good stuff. He has a Facebook page. Check him out. Go like his page. He's on Twitter. He doesn't do social media that much, but maybe we can get him to do it more. Who knows? So anyway, first of all, the official beer, I'm now saying this is the official beer, not Founders. Lagunitas Imperial Stout, $5 for a bomber. Zach knows what I'm talking about, so. Zach being friend of the show from Zach Cast. Anyway, so now, the announcement. And I have some music. Wait a minute, I got some music. I found some. I met him online. He seemed like a cool guy. He was hanging out with somebody I knew. She was cool too. Finally, we met at the American Atheist Conference. And he is the king of backpack, old fashions, and computer know-how. He's the lover, the hacker, the man. Help me welcome Lyman Smith. Lyman, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Was that dramatic enough? Okay.
It was almost good enough.
Oh, almost. Well, I see. I've got a little work to do. So Lyman, how you doing, man? You all right?
I'm good. Just got the kids to bed. Got off work. It's all good.
So I guess we should start out with you telling everybody a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, it's not going to live up to the hype that you just sold, but that's fine. So I habitually post memes of all persuasions, but usually nihilist or communist. And I live with Miss Natalie Newell in Maryland, and I have I don't know. I've been invited to do this thing with you. I think you are muted, sir. Anyway, Chris is having technical difficulties here. He's unable to speak, so you get to listen to me ramble for a minute while he goes through this. Go into your settings, unplug your mic and plug it back in. It works. Anyway, the official beer on this side is Dragons and Yum Yum by Dogfish Head. Art by the Flaming Lips. It says you're muted right now. Awkward. I don't know what that gesture means, but we'll roll with it. Oh.
Okay.
Oh. There you are.
Okay. Sorry.
Did the cat mute it?
Yes, the fucking cat. Just so y'all know, and this is going to be apparently it's going to be a regular feature. This didn't used to be the case because I didn't have it set up this way. But since I moved in the new apartment, I had 4 cats. All right, they went down to 2 cats. Right, so now I have one sedentary middle-aged cat, me. And then there's this other fucking wild-ass cat who has to fuck with it. She's already broke one TV. Okay. She got on the back of this TV and just I've never seen a cat do that. We were laughing at them up until the point the TV came falling down.
It's karma for laughing,
I guess. So anyway, sorry about that, y'all. That'll probably come out in edit or in when the podcast comes out. But this is the joy of live. The joy. So anyway, what are you drinking? I'm sorry.
I am drinking Dragons and Yum Yum by Dogfish Head.
What the flame? Okay.
Yeah.
They sponsored a beer, and that's interesting. Okay.
They did. It's actually really good. It's not what you're drinking.
No, because it's awesome.
It's true. But this is more, let's see if I can find a description. I don't know. Maybe the art says it all. It's hard to know.
Is it a sour?
Not quite. It's I would say it's a slightly fruity-ish thing. I don't know. I'm not a beer person usually.
Dragons. See, I have to know. You should have told me this before so I could have looked it up previously. Now I have to know.
Dragons and Yum Yum.
All right, Dragon Yum Yums, an explosion of fruit in every sip. Let's see what Beer Advocate has to say about it.
It tastes more like a medium beer. It's not super light, but it's definitely not heavy.
Okay, it's an American Pale Ale with fruity shit in it, I guess. It's a music
down the street.
La-di-da. A music collaboration of epic proportions with the Flaming Lips. This lip-smackingly tart pale ale is brewed with dragon fruit, yumberry, passion fruit, pear juice, and black carrot juice for an explosion of fruit in every bite. So sip. Shit.
I'm gonna say it tastes better than that description sounds.
Yeah. See, the thing is, when the flavors mix together, it hardly ever does that.
Yeah.
That's like I'll get stouts and like it has a bit of coconut and vanilla and all kinds of weird shit, and it's like I really don't even taste some of it. So I don't know.
It's definitely worth checking out, though. I would think it's something that you would like. It's on the medium or like more like hoppy side of medium. but not the fruitiness is not super pronounced.
Okay. Well, Lyman, it's been a boring week in the world. Nothing's been really going on much. Maybe we can scare a couple of things up. Maybe we can talk about. First of all, I just now thought of this. And you were supposed to remind me about the fundraiser I've
Hey,
started.
don't forget the fundraiser.
Thanks. I'm glad you're here to tell me these things now.
Team
So I started a fundraiser today. I realized it was National Breast Awareness Month for October. And for some reason, I hadn't realized that previously because at work, they're going to wear pink on Friday, which I didn't know. Nobody tells me. They're like, well, get a pink shirt and wear it. I'm like, well, I have one, but I'm pretty sure they don't want to see the pink shirt I have. I have a Planned Parenthood pink shirt, so that's not going to fly.
I need to get one of those.
And it's too small. I can't wear anything small. It's a 2X, and I can't get over my stomach, so I have to get a 3X now because of my fat ass. So anyway, so I found out it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so I started a fundraiser for the month of October. It's $1,000. I know it's a lofty goal, but I think this is something that everybody can get behind, regardless of your political orientation or whatever, gender, race, creed, color, whatever the fuck. Now, of course, I live in a bubble, so nobody in my group is like that because I filter them out because I'm a liberal, and liberals like to be in bubbles. We like to be in bubbles. Actually, I'm a leftist, technically not a liberal. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, what?
Technically, leftist.
Yeah. So, if you want to go check it out on my page, I shared it on the Podunk Polymath podcast Facebook page as well. I'm going to put it in the show notes. If you can go give, whatever you can give, 5, 10, whatever the fuck. I haven't even given yet because I don't get paid because I've been blowing money like left and right. And there goes a cat. So that's nice. Thanks, cat. Thanks. See, this is patched. I'm going to kill it. I didn't account for this variable in this whole thing. So I'm going to have to lock her up in a fucking room, apparently. I don't know. Anyway, and I'm actually serious about that because I don't know if she's going to be able to. I thought it'd be cute. Oh, look, it's cute. And you know, our cats just come up and rub against you. No, this cat's insane.
What did she break?
I have boxes still. And she's been fucking with the boxes. You know how cats are with boxes.
I was gonna say if you didn't want her to do that, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, got that out of the way. So right now, we got so many things going on. Now, I don't know if you've... Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. We're going to have to change the show, name of the show, I think. And I got a couple ideas. So, and you were talking about the crowd, audience participation, what if viewer participation?
Oh, yeah. People doing stuff.
Yeah, my idea is to get the 5 people who watch this to see if they can think of something. My idea is make it polymaths with the S, but it can't be podunk anymore. It has to be something else because podunk isn't really accurate anymore. So I got to think of something else that starts with the PO, PO that goes along with that. So
you like the kind of alliteration thing going on?
Yes, that's kind of my thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and if you think of something completely different, as long as there was alliteration involved, that's my only requirement is alliteration.
Should we come up with some clever hashtag to be able to search for the one of 6 suggestions that come out?
Like, oh yeah. Well, yeah, okay. What would it be? Okay, you're not doing this very well.
I'm killing it. I'm not doing this very well at all.
Okay, triple po name maybe, or
TPPP.
Yes, TPPP. New name. There it is. TPPP new name hashtag.
There you go.
If you have an idea for a new show name for the 5 people who watch us, we're up to 3 viewers, so that's encouraging. That's most than I ever
We might have
Right.
6 because I think Michael Costa's watching right now.
Well, I see 3. I don't know. Now, keep in mind, this software that I'm using is multicasting. Well, technically duo casting, I guess.
Where does it go other than YouTube?
My Podunk Polymath page.
Um,
They started doing live on, you know how they have live on Facebook?
mm-hmm.
Now they haven't. Well, they have it on pages.
Oh,
So now they're letting me try it out because they apparently just started this company or whatever, this platform, and they're giving this thing free for people to try it, but then you got to pay for it.
oh, like content producers or whatever. They're like, hey, try this. It's freemium. They're gonna get you hooked on it and then charge you for it.
And then I looked how much it is, and I'm good. Y'all gonna have to come down some because there's no way I'm paying that much. It's like even with a discount, it's like $200 a year. I don't know if it's worth it or not.
That's
Maybe.
not the worst. It's not the worst.
I mean, I guess it just depends.
I mean, a cable bill for some people is like $300 a month.
Who the fuck is paying that much for take that back?
I had somebody message me out of the blue on Twitter, and they were like, "Hey, my dad's cable bill is like $325 a month, and like we're trying to help him cut the cord. So can you recommend some streaming stuff?" And I was like, "Well, like YouTube
Literally,
TV is
yeah.
good."
Literally, like a Sling TV. I mean, if you need local channels.
That's actually the other thing I recommended. But YouTube TV has like unlimited DVR, and it's like 70 or 100 channels. Like, and all he wants is like news and sports and I don't know, MASH reruns or something. Who knows? I honestly don't know. But it's like $40 a month or something like that versus $325.
Yeah, okay, I have to be fair that I did used to pay that much only because I was with somebody who had to have all that shit.
Dude, what do you even pick
well,
for
okay,
$325 a month?
It wasn't 3. It was more like 150 or something.
Okay.
But the thing is, they charge you if it's direct. They charge you for running the boxes as well as the cable, and then the fucking They used to charge you for HD separately. That was separate.
That was like what, like 2009?
That was sooner than that. I got DirecTV maybe 6 years ago.
I cut the cord, I think, in like 2007, and I've just been YouTube, Hulu, and Raspberry Pis streaming stuff.
I probably would have gotten there quicker if I wouldn't, living with somebody who actually had to have it because she didn't understand the technology. But whatever, it's neither here nor there. So, all that to say that for this episode, this is going to be duo cast or whatever. I would almost give them that money if it weren't for the fact that this platform is pretty new. And I don't trust giving anybody money to something that might be a startup that fucking fails or something.
No. I mean, unless you're super into it and like a Kickstarter thing.
This is pretty cool. This meets all the credit. I mean, you get rid of that. Oh, they don't have it on here.
Is it the streaming service that the link you gave me? Is it that company?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And see, part of the free trial thing is they don't have the little watermark. The StreamYard, I just now noticed that. There's usually a watermark up here. They're well, you can't see anything, but there's a little symbol they use and it's watermarked. So I guess that's part of the trial or whatever. Then you could put your own banners up here and backgrounds and shit.
It seems pretty cool. I mean, it's functioning okay, other than randomly muting me and unmuting me and muting me earlier. But
well, that's user error.
Yeah, it's definitely my fault.
I don't know if the streaming part, I don't think it's the issue.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, so TPP, new name, hashtag. This is going to be the new platform. I don't know about the DuoCast again. I think it's only free for 6 days. So let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think about all of this if you're watching live. That was sexy.
Hot.
Now, okay, I think we've covered all the bases. So, Lyman, what do you bring?
What do I bring? To what?
To the show, man. Come
to
on,
the show?
Yeah. Do you tap dance? What do you do?
Poorly. I mean, I fidget more than I do tap dance, honestly.
Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. You
No.
do tap dance?
No, I'm a foot tapper. In fact, I'm actively trying not to do that right now on the hardwood floor.
I'll do that sometimes.
I do
I'll
it
be at work and my
habitually.
legs will just, not my feet, my whole fucking leg will just go up and down.
Yeah, I'm just like all day long. Just that's probably how I get my steps.
Restless leg. I don't know if that's, apparently that's a thing. It goes way back, so it's not just something the companies. Big Pharma made up.
I don't know. What do I bring?
You play guitar.
That's true. That's true.
You have winning looks. You're very chiseled.
Debatable.
Okay.
Debatable.
Okay. We're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
You're fucking okay. One thing I do know is you're smart and you know a lot about current affairs. So
I appreciate that.
well, of
It's
course
kind of you.
you're sharing a lot of my memes and stories and stuff. So that means you got good taste, obviously. So
That's basically my net value right there.
I mean, so I guess right now we've talked about, me and Zach talked on the last show about the Silverman affair. I'm not going back into that because he just keeps making the rounds, and he's gone a couple other shows since then. And it's just like the same shit over and over. I'm sick of hearing about it.
I think at this point everyone should just let him fall to the depths of whatever ocean or pit he's bound to land in.
He's gonna go with Sargon and all that, whatever. Same angry white man bullshit they all go to make that big YouTube money or whatever.
Yeah. Oh well.
Or whatever. I don't care. I got bigger things to worry about, like the president sucking bad.
Yeah. Fucking impeachment going.
But
It's on its way.
he
gonna happen.
refuses to fucking cooperate. He just straight up said, "Nah, we're good."
Well, there's a I'm not going to be able to cite the case, but I think it was 1935 or 1937. There was a time where it's the last time that Congress used a power they had to basically incarcerate somebody to force them to be able to testify. It's some sort of, I don't know, nuclear button that they have. I'm not a lawyer, so
Yeah,
but I could find it and send it to you. I read an article briefly about it.
they can do that. They have their own enforcement people.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Are they the capital? No, I forget. But they have their own, like the courts have the U.S. Marshals, which I didn't know that.
I want to say it's the sergeant at arms or whatever.
Yeah, the sergeant at arms, but does he have like a force? I don't know.
I don't know. It's probably the FBI or something.
But if the courts, like, if he keeps going through the courts and finally the courts they order them to do it, then they could get the marshals to go get their ass.
I think basically they're trying to play nice and not set a precedent of, I don't know, just
I don't think that's gonna work.
I think that shark has been jumped and jumped again.
No.
I think we're at the point where it's like, have you met the guy? Have you paid attention? Like,
I mean,
this is just what he's gonna do. You
even
gotta just drop the bomb.
well, what's funny is none of them gave a fuck. None of the Republicans gave a fuck until this just happened. We decided to pull out of Turkey or Syria and said, "Meh, go ahead, Turkey."
Are you talking about the GOP?
No, Trump. They just randomly pulled out of Turkey.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean the people that cared all of a
No,
sudden.
yeah, no.
Republicans.
They didn't give a fuck about any of the other shit. But when it comes to war, oh my God, no. Now, to be fair,
How are they going to get this? How does that work?
Defense contracts. I mean, they got big, but the Kurds. That's bullshit. Abandon the Kurds like that.
Well, and the bigger problem is like going forward, because I mean we are a perpetual war machine, so it's not a matter of if we go back to war, it's when. I mean, we have all these allies that we rely on to do different things, and we just basically showed that, hey, if you fight for us and we do all this stuff, that you can't necessarily count on us to hold up our end of the deal and just leave you to get slaughtered. So that's super bad for foreign policy for sure.
But when has any? It's like Charlie with the football. Charlie Brown with the football. No, this time we're gonna fucking no. No. Why did anybody trust us anyway?
Uh,
I mean, they don't have a choice, I guess. I mean,
well, I mean, if you don't play nice enough, we just invade you or find a reason to
yeah,
somehow
we'll shut you down. We'll
overthrow
boycott you.
something, tamper with something. I mean, and that's kind of the thing with this whole situation. Everyone, like, it is appalling to have anybody, Trump or otherwise, meddling with stuff. But I mean, the reality is that's just what we do. Like, we've done that for decades to try to influence election outcomes and things like that. Or there's been a couple coups for sure. It's like, yes, it's bad, but I mean, the shoe's on the other foot now a little bit. So it just needs to, things just need to change. I know it's no oversimplification.
I'm going to interrupt this for a minute because somebody just told me that was the worst hashtag ever.
You know what? You're the worst hashtag ever.
So, for one, you can kiss my ass.
Yes.
Two, you may have a point. However, unless you have a better option, I'm going to need you to go ahead and tell me. That's not set in stone for the 5 people.
Dude, that's what we need is a chat.
We do have one.
Well,
Nobody's
I
in
don't
it.
have one.
Do you not on your side? Because I have it on my end. I don't know how.
I do not have it on my end because I'm on
You're a guest.
I'm on a laptop that is super lucky to even turn on right now.
Oh well, mine's not any better as I've told you. But no, I have chat on the side. I don't know how. I'll have to figure that out later. I don't know how you do that with 2 people, one person, each person having access to chat. That may be something I have to figure out as we go on.
I think you could technically make my Google account an administrator on the site, and then I could see it.
Huh?
I think so.
I don't know if that works.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yes.
Oh, you can. Wait a minute. You can add a person. I think. Now that I think about it.
You definitely can to have multiple people manage the social media.
Yeah, the social media. Yes, I'm talking about this.
Not in this site that we're on, but on the actual YouTube channel, you can have multiple people.
That seems. No. I know what you're saying. It just seems. I'll figure it out. There's got to be a way.
It's not that big a deal. I mean, I could literally go. And
Oh, it is a big deal, Lyman. Oh. It is, sir.
No, you're a big deal.
No,
you make this a big deal.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Your beard is glorious. You know.
Okay.
This, right?
Stop. Yes, but stop. You're not going to get. You might, but let's not even try that. So, apparently we're going to have to try the hashtag. We're going to have a hashtag for a new hashtag. So
what do I name me?
It doesn't matter. Don't do a hashtag. Just fucking tweet the show and this fucking. It's not like there's going to be 20,000 people and I have to. Oh my god, all these people. Let me.
There's going to be 4 after I'm on here.
So I mean, if you got a good name for the show, just tweet it to me. Podunk Polymath at Podunk Polymath or whatever. Which again, the whole point of this is trying to make another name for the show. I've already got sort of, and there's no guarantee I'm going to fucking take it, by the way. You're actually just lucky.
Are you keeping it a secret for right now, your ideas?
I already told you. We make the polymath plural. Polymaths, right?
Like with just a single S?
Yeah.
To be honest, I told you this earlier. Like, before I was on the first time, I Googled polymath because I was like, what is that? Because I'd never heard the word before. So you taught me something, Chris.
That's what I'm saying. But I pointed out to you just before we went on, you are a polymath. So therefore, we are both polymaths. So it is the polymaths now.
The polymathicists.
Maths.
Mathesai?
Don't ruin things for everybody, Lyman, okay?
That's what I do.
So the polymaths, and then put on Podunk don't work anymore because I don't live in Podunk anymore. I live in fucking big city now. So with the taco trucks. Awesome taco trucks.
Can I say where you live?
Yeah.
Nash Vegas?
Nash Vegas, baby. That's right. Rhinestones, baby. Pave the roads with rhinestones.
We're going to have to make a trip down there because I've never been. The furthest south that I've been, which is not south, is Ohio. Where? Yeah.
That's pretty south.
Well, I mean, unless you consider Arizona south, which I mean it is.
yeah. That's
Not
where all
the
the
south. It is just
retired rednecks go there.
and people under witness protection. It's not untrue. It's absolutely true.
How does that work?
Scottsdale Scottsdale, Arizona is a huge place for witness.
So just bomb the whole. They all get into whoever, all the criminals, get together and say, "Look, we just bombed the whole fucking city. Boom, problem solved." You get rid of how many in one go? Come on.
And a whole lot of douchebags.
And those two.
Yeah.
So,
Which is mostly Scottsdale. So.
what? In Phoenix, I don't know what's redeeming in Phoenix anyway.
Oh, well, you like tacos. I mean, you can basically stand on a street corner and get some of the best Mexican food ever.
Well, okay, you could probably do that here. I don't know. It depends. I don't know.
You'll have to ask Natalie about it because it was life-changing for her to have some of the food down there.
Life-changing.
She literally wanted me to, and I did smuggle a burrito into my carry-on, a bean and cheese burrito, and flew back here, which got me, let's just say, supremely frisked.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. Okay.
Oh, no. The TSA. the TSA was more handsy than anybody. They were like,
that doesn't surprise me.
No. They were worried about the shape of the burrito. No, but you'd think I would have.
Why didn't you? That would have been hot, though. No, it would have cooled down. No, it would have kept it warm. And she likes your penis, presumably, right? So, I mean, it's a win-win. You just wrap it in, aluminum.
I am not
foil.
at liberty to speak on her behalf.
Okay, well, I am. And I'm telling you that you wrap it in aluminum foil, stick it down your shorts, it's a win-win, right?
I mean, I suppose so.
I mean, you could food and sex. Anyway, let's not go too far down that.
Yikes.
I got sidetracked. So let's come back to us abandoning the Kurds and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole point of that was finally the Republicans are worrying about fucking Trump because he gave up. And like I said, I get it, the Kurds. I'm not happy about that either. But this is more to them about, foreign policy and abandoning the region because their defense cronies are going to get pissed off because they're not getting the contracts or whatever.
I mean, I forget the precise number, but since the Kurds have been fighting with us, there's just over 10,000 Kurds that have been killed fighting ISIS on our behalf, and allegedly somewhere around 10,000 members of ISIS are being held and watched by the Kurds. So right now, today actually, they started airstriking Syria. Turkey did. And so the concern right now for a lot of people is like, okay, well, if they're not watching these people that are prisoners, that's like 10,000 people if you believe the numbers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That would just be out and about again, and then
just wandering around. That's fine. No,
it's not a problem.
No, just ISIS fucking crazy, and they've been locked up.
Yeah,
they're already extreme. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Crazed, imprisoned fucking ISIS fighters who are already extremists are now even more. No, that's fine. Don't worry.
And they're I forget which person in Syria made the statement that they said guarding those prisoners and watching them is no longer their top priority because they're about to get fucking slaughtered by Turkey. So I get it.
And to be fair, and let me just put this out there, and I was thinking about this earlier. I don't want us to be there either, to be honest with you. However, I don't want to. You just don't fucking randomly fucking. Okay, poof. I don't. That's not how that works. You have to at least have some plan or something, which includes not fucking the Kurds over, right?
Right. Well, and the thing is like our whole timeline for since the late 70s has been to go to the Middle East and fuck shit up, destabilize, train people to fight the common enemy, and then 10 years later we're fighting the people that we trained and armed. It's just like this cyclical thing. But at the end of the day, it's like we've created this mess, and unless you want another Iraq situation where we leave a power vacuum and then all of a sudden Syria's basically leveled. Their infrastructure is gone. You have Russia that has interest in Syria. You have Turkey that has interest in Syria. It's like it's just creating another potential power vacuum, which is how ISIS went from like a couple thousand people to tens of thousands of people because it was just there for the taking in Iraq. The whole thing is just ridiculous. And yeah, I don't want to be there either. We should have never fucking been there. But at the end of the day, like we made the fucking mess. We have to have some level of accountability so innocent people aren't just getting annihilated because we're assholes.
That's literally everywhere. We've meddled every fucking where.
Yeah, you'd be real hard pressed to find a place that we haven't been.
But in this particular situation, I think we at least owe Kurds at least some sort of weaponry, maybe.
We've been giving them weaponry, and
yeah,
we've been doing this stuff.
Advisors and shit. I don't want to put troops on the ground.
No, but I mean, troops are kind of like a last. It isn't really that necessary. We have drones. We have an insanely good Air Force. We have all kinds of stuff that we could be doing. We could leave people there and not leave the fucking front door open. Like Turkey is not in a hurry to get in a fucking war with the U.S. I mean, it's what we fund the most above healthcare and education and making sure people eat on the street. We put our money into that. So,
yeah,
you know,
we're good at war. Well, are we good at war though?
Yeah, we're pretty fucking good at war.
We're good at killing. We're not good at strategy.
Well, the strategy is to kill everybody and then if the government isn't friendly to us, we're like, oh, oops, somebody accidentally shot that person or blew them up, and then we put friendly people in there.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I'll save the boredom, but if you do get bored, go look at how Saddam Hussein got into power.
Oh, he used to be our ally.
Yup, he was a friendly guy to us. We helped put him in there.
Yep, because we wanted to offset Iran's power.
Well, yeah, and ultimately it's about resource control, because God forbid we use the fucking sun or anything else other than
Jesus. We're not going to be happy until we drain every last drop of oil, every last fucking ounce of coal.
I legitimately would like somebody, even if their interest is making the money off of that, to explain to me that when these resources are depleted, what's your fucking plan?
But see, the thing they always do is like, well, we'll come up with something to fucking...
Yeah, like fucking what, you know? Like,
but
like fucking what?
The whole point is, why don't you stop using it so much and shit, instead of trying to make up ways to clean it up after the fact?
Well, I mean, if you think of it this way, too, there's a million reasons for climate change, all that stuff, for not using it. But at the end of the day, wouldn't it be nice to at least have these resources, the fossil fuels and stuff, available in case we needed them as an emergency as opposed to the backbone?
I mean, yeah, but I just don't think that's ever going to fucking happen.
No, I'm just saying, like, if we focused on...
Should there be a strategic, and we actually do have a strategic oil reserve. Yeah, probably. But we should not be, I mean, there's no reason in fuck we shouldn't be using solar powered. I mean, goddamn. Arizona, fucking you have a whole desert.
There's literally something like 325 days of sunshine in Arizona. And a large portion of it between Phoenix and the California border is owned by the feds anyway, because Luke Air Force Base is down there, which is the largest Air Force base in the country. And so there's precisely zero reason why it's not being used.
Oh, we had to update the power grid too, because that's a fucking wreck.
There's a lot of things that are wrecked, and everybody's like, oh, it's too expensive, oh, this and that. It's like, well, yeah, it's fucking expensive, but number one, you can't afford not to. And number two, like, you buy a fucking expensive warranty on your car. Like, why aren't you fucking building a warranty on like your environment? That doesn't make any fucking sense. But also, it takes baby steps. Like, everyone always acts like, oh, it's going to cost us $15 quintillion. I'm like, yeah, over like how many years or decades? You don't have to. It's not like somebody's asking for a fucking check.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because they don't have any problem spending that money on military budgets, the military budget.
No.
Or tax cuts for fucking billionaires and shit.
It's
You know?
important that Jeff Bezos gets his nesting doll yacht. It's super important.
And I hate myself. I do. Oh, Michael Costa commented. You can't see this. I'm sorry. And it was like 15 minutes ago. Sorry, Michael. He says, "Good to know," and I don't know what he's talking about. I'm sorry, man. I just don't saw it. See, the comments do come up. Nobody's commenting. So
What did he say? I didn't hear it.
Good to know. I don't know. Of course, I don't know in what he's referencing. So maybe he'll tell you later. I don't know.
All right.
He's in our little secret group. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
Oh yeah.
I don't know. So there's a lot going on in the world that's fucked up. We talked about.
I actually have a question for you.
Oh,
What is your feeling about the whole drama about Ellen and George W?
I think you probably know the answer to that one.
Well, not in detail. I've only seen.
Oh well,
things.
I mean, fuck her. I mean, because, and a lot of people have pointed this out. This whole idea of, oh, let's just be nice to, let's be simple. Why can't we all just get along? Okay, that's fine. If you have a disagreement about, I like black and you like green.
Potatoes or stovetop.
Yeah, or stuff like that. Not mass murdering millions of civilians, perhaps.
No.
Well, maybe. Or voting for policies that are LGBT inequality, perhaps, or any number of other things that he enabled as president. I don't want to hear about him being he may have been a puppet the first term, right? I get it, whatever. But nobody fucking made him do it. He's a grown ass man. He's a war criminal. Of course, honestly, most presidents are war criminals if you get right down to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the idea that it's elitist garbage. I mean, of course, she's not.
Let it out, Chris. You got this.
She's an elitist. I mean, yes, she's a lesbian, right? But she's the intersectionality of it. She's a lesbian, right? But she's wealthy, a wealthy lesbian. There's a major intersectionality. I can't even say it.
Intersectionality.
So she's not at the level of, say, like lesbian LGBT people on the streets, like in the South, like in dangerous situations, like where their lives might be in danger because of policies that Bush and his cronies enacted, right? So, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
I get, it's just the optics of it. Well, it's not just the optics of it. It's fucking like you're not even thinking about anybody else except yourself, to me. And I don't think it's malicious. I just think she just didn't think about it. But the problem is she's doubling down, right? Because she heard the criticisms. Now she's doubling down and she can go fuck herself.
Yeah, basically.
So, I mean, and I get it, right? Straight white guy saying that. But I mean, to me, obviously, since you asked me the question,
yes,
she can fuck right off. Okay.
Well, and I mean, I think the other important thing is I've seen a copious amount of people saying, "Oh, well, there's nothing wrong with her being decent to somebody," and like nobody's saying not, to like firebomb the guy. I don't think there's a lot of tears would be shed, but I'm not encouraging that. But at the end of the day, like, you don't have to fucking interact with people that are trash.
And he is.
Yeah, I live like 40 minutes from.
I mean, just go deliver a package. That's all I'm saying. Come on.
Do not do anything stupid.
Well, what's your definition of stupid?
I don't know. It's art. It's for your interpretation, but I mean, like, I just don't understand it. Like, if somebody marched the now deceased and for a while deceased, like, Jeffrey Dahmer into a room and sat them down next to him, they'd be like, oh, what a monster. And I mean, the difference between Jeffrey Dahmer and the death count of GW is legality. Otherwise it's not they're both murderers. It's just the difference is that people justify it somehow because it's like, oh, well, it was done legally. And it's like, legality is not a fucking substitute for right and wrong. Like, there's been a lot of fucked up stuff that we all know that has been 100% legal, but objectively, in hindsight, is trash and should have never been done. So
Let me, Michael Costa. He's our only commenter, so I got to read him extra special. And I'm going to try to do this drama. Let me see if I can do conspiracy theory I've heard is that the technology already exists to function off oil efficiently and that it's being kept hidden to be phased in as traditional power sources dwindle. Lies! Okay, sorry, I overdid it.
I mean, if you look at what we're capable of just in general, and historically there has been a time in the 80s where there was an electric car that was very viable. I mean, I'm not an expert enough to say it's as viable as the electric cars of today, which I'm assuming is probably not then. But these things, I'll have to look it up and so you can post it on, when you post this this video. But there was a car manufacturer that made electric cars in the 80s that was basically, I don't remember if they were shut down somehow or they were run out of business or purchased, but they were, and then the cars were basically field destroyed and buried. That's like a verifiable fact. I'll have to send you the information on it. But yeah, it's entirely possible we have technology that's more viable in positive ways than what we use now. It's just, why would somebody want to give up their cash cow? I mean, they make how many bazillion a year?
Well, Germany already has fucking how much solar?
I don't remember the percentage, but it's like it's significant.
Huge. So it's possible.
And China has put up a lot of solar.
They're cheaper. Their solar panels are cheaper than ours.
Well, yeah, because I mean, especially now with all the fucking tariffs on everything.
And that's another fucking
rest in peace economy.
No. But he was keeping the factories here, man. Manufacturing. All that manufacturing that left.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all the manufacturing that left, on top of the fact that even if we manufactured it here, all the stuff that we import, like Russian steel, all the different silicon components that we get from Asia, they're tariffed and they're more expensive because of it. He's an asshole. And
no, I mean, he's just an idiot, really. I mean, he's an asshole also.
See, but I don't think that he's as much of an idiot as he comes off as. I don't think he's not an evil genius. He is not.
Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute, man. Let's dial it back a bit.
Like, I'm not giving him that kind of credit, but I don't necessarily think what he does is necessarily all his idea. He's surrounded by people that, although they are evil assholes, they are smarter than him and probably smarter than a lot of us. And they come up with these ideas. I mean, they have all these think tanks, oh God, what is it called? I'm drawing a blank right now. There are think tanks where basically different special interest groups, it could be insurance, tobacco, all these different things where they come together and they basically boilerplate legislation.
ALEC.
Yes, thank you. I mean, that's where some of the most atrocious legislation has come from in the last 35 years.
Well, maybe we should briefly explain it. It stands for American Legislative Exchange Council. It's basically where a bunch of legislators and a bunch of company execs get together and basically, like you said, boilerplate. I can't talk. Boilerplate. I mean, they basically write it there to benefit like corporations.
Oh yeah, like it's so bad. Basically, the companies and the corporations of whatever industry it is come together and they do majority of the bill writing and the legislation. It's so bad, and I think it was John Oliver that has a video of it, that some of the congressmen that have submitted those things forgot to take the ALEC watermark off the fucking bill. Like, and there's video of a guy getting questioned. He's like, so this bill, like it says ALEC at the bottom. The guy's like, just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever.
What? Where'd that come from? Secker, she typed it up. That's her boyfriend's name, Alec.
Alec, good old Alec.
Oh, there we go.
He's a philanthropist. No, but I mean, there's good reason why this stuff happens. The bottom line is there's way too much money in politics. Like way too much money in politics.
Well, that's one of the many problems. That's
Oh,
another thing.
but I mean, it's encouraging to see, well, nobody on the right, but people on the left, whether you like them or not, it's encouraging to see people doing like the grassroots thing and shunning the big corporate bucks. You know.
Yeah, I've seen more of that, and the only thing is that like there's this progressive wave, right? And it's a long time ago. We needed to have that, but I just don't know if it's too little, too late. I don't know if we're not going to end up fucking blowing each other ourselves up before we get to the point where it's gonna. Because I mean, we're on a deadline. We're on a timeline here.
I mean, we are there. I mean, there's that definite possible reality, but I think for as cynical as I become with everything and most humans, I think we have to hope that even though there may be, a tipping point where things really go south, we have to believe that there's a chance, or else, like, what is the point? You know?
You know what? You don't get to say anything because you run pages with nihilism in it, sir.
That basically makes me practicing witchcraft.
So I mean, but I see what you're saying.
I
It's hard.
know
It's a coping mechanism.
Well, it's a coping mechanism, but also it's like if everybody is just like, well, fuck it. And I mean, in the grand scheme, we all die, nothing matters in the end. But like while we're fucking here, like, might as well try to do something good. At least die trying.
Yeah, I mean somebody called it misanthropic humanism. I think it was, which seems to be an oxymoron because misanthrope means you hate men, people, right? And then humanism is you care about humanity. Okay, so but it's not. You can hate individual people because they
For
suck.
sure.
However, you can care about humanity as a whole, which
You could even hate all of humanity right now, but maybe hope that the next spawns that come about might be better.
What are we, salmon? Jesus. The next spawn, we got to go upriver first. And
I wish we were fucking salmon. Shit's dark nowadays.
fucking salmon, sir. That's a little gross. I'm
No.
not the best jelly. Oh, it's all right. So, got a little confused there.
No, but I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, like, why does anybody ever do anything? And it's
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I get that, but I mean, I do stuff. I mean, I do little stuff, but I mean, yeah, I'm not it. I say shit, but really, I mean, I think it comes down to doing what, and this is so corny. I even hate to say this, but doing what you can. If everybody did what their little bit that they could, then maybe the world would be a better place.
Well, I mean, it is corny. It is corny, but it's like not wrong. Like, I forget how long ago I gave a speech. I think it was in high school. Like, they were talking. I forget exactly what we had to talk on, but it had something to do with like leadership and like movements and stuff like that. It had something we were talking about, comparing like leaders of movements. Like Martin Luther King, like people that we look at that are revolutionaries, things like that. And I mean, those people aren't. You can't just decide, oh, hey, Chris, you're just going to wake up tomorrow and be the leader of a movement. Like, it just doesn't work that way. The way it works is like if everybody tries to do their part, like the whole collaborative effort usually has somebody that ends up being a willing or unwilling, usually unwilling, face or voice for the situation. And it's like if everyone tries to be that one, and I think there are a lot of people that unfortunately want to be that one more than they care about the situation, then you have a lot of action versus a lot of people just clutching their pearls and wringing their hands saying, what do we do? So it's not insignificant. Like, everybody tries to do their part, and insert analogy about sand and beaches, or
No,
know.
we've gone far enough, sir.
oh yeah, I'm gonna draw that line right there. But
The saccharin is no. So yeah, what are you gonna do? Like we said, humanity. It's at a crossroads, I think. And Greta, that's another thing. My girl Greta Thunberg, I guess how you pronounce her name.
Thunberg, I think.
Maybe. She's hilarious. Well, she's not hilarious. Sorry. Climate change is going to kill us all. That's so funny. No, I mean, like, it's funny how these fucking grown ass men are just fucking threatened by her. I mean, they are losing their shit over a 16-year-old girl. I mean, it's crazy.
I do not get it. I honestly, like, I really, honestly, truly don't get it. And it's not like she's running around like opining. She's literally walking around and being like, "Hey guys, here's my testimony to Congress. Here's a report from the scientific community," or like, "Hey, you guys should listen to the science and not be dumb." And people are losing their fucking mind over it. I've never seen anything like it. And then people want to try to discredit her. Even some people in the left skeptic community are like, "Well, I don't like that she's platformed and like by or marketed or funded by bigger people. It's all about politics." And I'm like, well, wait a minute, like or people that say, well, advocating doesn't do anything. It's like, well, wait a minute, you go and talk at conventions, you give talks about like all kinds of things, atheism or random science stuff, vaccines. It's like that is being an advocate, like that's what it is. And it's like, yeah, she's not, a savant that has, she's not a paper tiger from some, Ivy League school. But like for a 16-year-old, she's got some guts, and it's like, yeah, you could say it's political, but what isn't? Like you buy a Coca-Cola or anything else, like the money goes to something, and those people that get the money do something with it. So everything is ultimately political. I just don't understand how people that literally engage in activism or advocacy would put down a 16-year-old doing something that's ahead of what other 16-year-olds advocating would be doing, and then try to discredit her. And I sure as shit don't understand all the right-wing people that are like hanging effigies of her off of bridges and overpasses. And like what the fuck? It's a 16-year-old girl that is like, "Hey, I don't want to die. We should have a Earth. Like, here, read some science."
That means she's touching some nerves. That means she's doing something right.
That is 100% true. And it's like I think the most irritating spin is like, well, she's young and she's a girl and she has Asperger's. And I'm like, well,
what does that have to do?
So fucking what? Well, the opinion that I have heard from some people is like, well, people have intentionally chosen her to do this because it plays to whatever sympathies or pathos and this and that. It's like,
does the opposite to me, right?
To me, it's like she just happens to be somebody that's doing it that is this type of person.
Yeah, she started out doing it by herself at her school or some shit.
Right.
As far as I can tell, it's not like George Soros was sitting there with her money. Here's some money. Because that's what they love, George Soros, of course.
Right, of course. Everything is George Soros. All roads lead to George Soros.
Yeah, and he's Jewish. The old trope, even though I'm a little, anti-Semitism is anti-Israel. But that's a whole different story. But in this particular instance, that is a trope.
I don't understand. Like, okay, so it's like, are these people saying that all of a sudden now people that happen to be female or have Asperger's are now like invalid because of who and what they are? Every time they say something, it's like, oh, well, that's just a trope. That's just playing to some sort of fallacy or nonsense. Or like, I just don't understand where that's all coming from. It's like, she's a fucking person, regardless of her genetic makeup or anything else, that just gives a shit. And so maybe you should not look at pictures of her and listen to her fucking words at night before you go to bed. Like, if they didn't see her, what would they care? You know?
I don't know. I mean,
People are so fucking dumb. Like, honestly, it's
they are so threatened by her.
threatened by a 16-year-old girl, which like you
should,
said, she's doing something right.
this should tell you something about the people who are fucking worried or upset. I mean, rabidly upset about
Yeah.
it. What is wrong with you in your fucking head, in your life, that you're fucking? I mean, throwing this kind of fit over a 16-year-old girl. I thought you were a big, strong man. I thought you had all the answers. I thought you ruled the world, bro. You know.
Oh, it's
What are you worried about?
it's confusing. It's super confusing. It's like when somebody's not old enough, powerful enough, or anything to be like, oh well, they're just funding it with their money. They're just another George Soros, or like, well, they have a political agenda because they're friends with XYZ politician or corporation. She's a fucking 16-year-old, just a 16-year-old girl. Like, and so at the end of the day, they're like, well, her age and oh, she has Asperger's, so what she says doesn't matter. And it's like,
What's ableist?
oh yeah,
Yeah. I mean, but I guarantee you, if it was she was saying the same things that they liked. If it was on the other end, she was saying super conservative shit, they'd be fine with it.
I promise you, if she was like walking around being like the AR-15 is God-given right, yada yada, blah blah blah, they would have T-shirts on with her face on
You
it.
don't have, and you don't even have to question that. You don't even have to. It's already there. There's plenty of girls with AK strap. There's like one that went to college with a fucking AK in her back or something.
Oh, the girl that went to Kent State.
Oh, they loved it. They fucking make that shit.
It's
up.
brilliant. Half of them probably don't even
It's
know
so
the history
fucking-
of Kent State with that shit. So
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's just so hypocritical. It's just because she's talking about shit you don't like. You know, that's all it boils down to. And it's just so transparent. It's pathetic, and
I'm super confused why climate change is even fucking political.
oh, I can tell you that right now.
I mean, I get it with the corporations, like they got their money and stuff like that. But I mean, people like random Joes on the street, like it is confusing to me. Like your power comes into the socket, you plug your TV so you can watch Fox. Like, what the fuck do you care?
Because, they've been so thoroughly brainwashed, and they've been so. I mean, they're good. The conservatives are good, and the corporations are good. They're good at propaganda. They've been pressing this propaganda for a long time, and so they've gotten deep into their psyche.
Yeah.
We live in a country where we are mostly buffered from the major effects, especially if you're in the interior, right? Because I mean, you ain't gonna worry about fucking.
You mean the
water.
flyover states and stuff like that?
Yeah, the flyover states, which so overlooked. You know what? Oh, you're not overlooked, you whiny fucks. Anyway, whatever. So they don't see it. It's not actually impacting their lives. However, if you go to like India, like the poorer countries like India, Bangladesh, if you live in a fucking island, literally an island, and you
Like
literally
Hawaii.
can see it disappearing, you know.
Yeah, that's a problem. You know, when your property line is literally disappearing, that's kind of a thing.
So I mean, that's why most people don't even pay attention to it, because they don't see a change in. They see it gets hotter, and they're like, it's a cycle. And they listen to propaganda. Well, you know, it's fucking cycles. The Earth goes through cycles.
I think people should start that are really into the climate thing, like as far as like activism and advocacy. I think they really need to like drill down to one prime point just to try to educate people that climate is not weather.
I tried that. It doesn't work.
But I mean, you know, it's like, oh, well, how is it global warming? It just snowed like 90 inches of snow in a place that doesn't get snow. So how is it warm?
That was a bad, whoever came up with that was bad.
Yeah.
They should have said climate change all along. But now they try the whole global warming thing. They just, it's not war. Blah, 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 blah. You know, that's not what we're fucking saying, you moronic shitheads. I mean,
it's whoever was in charge of deciding what to call it
well, you know.
should be drawn and quartered, honestly. Because if they just called it climate change,
Have you seen that?
drawn and quartered,
I've been researching that, Lyman. That's some fucked up shit. But anyway,
I know.
I know it's
hyperbole.
I know I'm familiar. You and Dan Arrow might actually get along pretty well. Which I should tease that a little bit because Dan is going to come on the show to plug his new book. I just don't know when yet.
Indeed, and maybe in honor of having Mr. Errol, I'll get like some communist propaganda.
You have, yes.
Oh, I'm going to.
Oh, yes, you must.
Like, get my Antifa on.
Make sure you get some Morrissey shit to fucking piss him off because
he doesn't like Morrissey.
Oh, he loved Morrissey until he started spewing all that fucking fascist, and he's like so mad about that. He's like, it's like your heroes just.
I got punched in the face at a Morrissey concert, which is like
what?
Yeah.
How the hell do you get punched in the face at a Morrissey concert?
So we're at a Morrissey concert I'm not joking. You may have heard of it, but it's a retirement city in Sun City, Arizona, which you literally can't live there if like you're under the age of like 52 or something like that. So at this community center, they decide that Morrissey is going to play there. And so we go, and I mean, I've been to a lot of shows. I've been to really like what I thought was super intense, like metal shows. This was like Beatlemania, like my equivalent in my mind, what Beatlemania and Elvis would have been like, because what he did is every 2 songs he would go off stage. Well, he had these really nice button-up shirts, and every time he would take them off, he had a T-shirt on under it. He would throw the shirt into the crowd, which is super fucking cheesy, and he'd go and he'd put another one on like every 2 songs. So we're standing there, probably, I don't know, maybe like 10, 12 feet from the stage, and he throws it, and I'm just like, all of a sudden, I've got fucking Morrissey's shirt in my hand. Well, they were really nicely knitted and all that stuff, so you couldn't break it. You absolutely could not shred it. And so all of a sudden, like everybody's just like on me, and we're all trying to like just rip it. I'm like, please, I really don't want to catch an elbow or anything like that. And I've literally got some girl behind me punching me in the back of the head. I've got some guy throwing elbows, trying to get it, and all of a sudden this girl whips out a knife and was gonna stab it in the middle of the shirt, right? And I'm just like, no, knife bad. And I just pull out my key in my pocket, and it was so taut that I put the key through the center of it, and then we just all shredded it, and it stopped. But every time that dude would throw his fucking shirt, it was like a cow falling into the fucking river where the piranhas were. It was violent. It is the most violent show I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of shows.
I don't know what to say to that. I really don't.
It's unexpected.
I don't know what to say about that analogy you just made. That's interesting. Cows and piranhas.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen the videos, you know, of like the Amazon and stuff, and an animal goes into it or falls into it, and all of a sudden it's just like,
I know. I don't even know if that's true or not, but
I mean, I've seen the videos.
Yeah, because nobody can ever fucking doctor videos.
Unlike Nat Geo, so I mean, you know.
You know who owns Nat Geo now? No. Rupert Murdoch.
Really?
Yeah, he bought National Geographic not too long ago.
I know somebody that works at Nat Geo.
Well, then you're part of the conspiracy.
I am.
How's the Bilderbergers doing, bud? Yeah. Anyway, Area 51 looking pretty good right now, and that's another funny thing. But we'll leave that to later. So this is kind of wrap it up a little bit. This is kind of a mishmash. We're going to at least try to have some sort of structure on later shows. I'm not sure about interviews, because I haven't done interviews with 2 people. I don't think. Well, I tried it way back, and he just wasn't that into it. So, but this might be different. I don't know. But I'm sorry, we still have to work out that. But I'm excited for you to be here, Lyman, I have to say.
Well, I'm definitely excited to be here, and it's been fun. I look forward to many more ramblings and watching structured ramblings, but and watching you stroke your beard.
Well, that's how I hypnotize people. Look at my beard. It's like the Jedi mind trick. You will give me free beer.
I will find free beer, and I'll have Jeff Bezos send it to you prime.
You shut your whore. Only if he does it himself. I want his bald ass to bring it himself.
Like a little pack donkey just like rolls up to your house.
Fuck yeah.
There's
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
Lex Luthor standing outside with your beer.
He does look kind of Lex Luthor-ish.
Yeah,
Luthor-esque.
he is.
So thanks everybody for listening. Welcome, Lyman. I think it'll be great. I think it'll be a great addition. And forget the hashtag, I guess. Just if you want to name the shit. Of course, they're going to fucking come up with some shit just to piss me off. But in there somewhere, there might be a treasure, right? In the rough, a diamond might be found.
It is true.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, thank you again, Lyman.
Thank you.
And I'll see y'all later.
Have a good night, boys.
Oh, in broadcast,